He is an iconic Canadian singer-songwriter. Andy Kim has written songs that defined a generation.
Rock me gently, rock me slowly, take it easy, don't you know that I have never been loved like this before.
That song, a mega hit that still plays on radio stations around the world. Andy Kim has sold 30 million records and is a member of the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. He's preparing for an evening of music here in Ottawa with another Canadian legend, Dan Hill, and we are so lucky because Andy is joining us in studio this morning. Good morning to you, and thank you so much for being here.
Well, mornings are not my favorite time, but thank you.
Especially as a rock star. You like the late nights, not so much the early mornings, right?
Yeah, so much.
Well, we appreciate you coming in. First of all, what's it like getting to come back here to Ottawa? Because you are Canadian.
Well, I've always been looked at as a Canadian, even though my success started in the U.S. Born and raised in Montreal, so yeah. I'm forever a Canadian. And last night was an incredible night celebrating 10 years of Bill Carroll. And I've known him for a long time, and I feel very blessed to be able to have someone that I could talk to and just go over my life with, and have him really just be a friend.
I love that. So you were here last night primarily for Bill Carroll's Roast and Toast, which we got to celebrate. What was that like for you to get to stand on stage and speak about Bill Carroll?
Well, you know what? I can only speak from my heart.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of let it just fluctuate the way it was supposed to be. Only because he's my best friend, and I would always like to be surrounded by his energy, his heart, his mind, and so I was as emotional as I've ever been just listening to everybody talk about Bill.
And we know Bill on the radio. He could be a bit brash and a bit tough. But what do you know him as? Because we all do know his soft side as well, especially behind the scenes. We really get to see the softer side of Bill.
Well, first of all, he's an incredible friend and really understands the word friend. You know, I can tell him anything, he can tell me anything, and there's no judgment, even if it's something that we're struggling with. Great husband and love his kids, and I happen to be godfather to Magali, his youngest. So
wow,
it's I guess I'm part of the family.
I love that. And how did you and Bill Carroll meet?
It's the strangest thing.
We love strange here on the show.
I got a call from a radio station that wanted me to come because Bill Carroll wanted to interview me. I had no idea who Bill Carroll was.
Okay.
Didn't know anything about him, didn't know much about the radio station. So I said, okay. And I'm kind of okay with always trying to do something that I've not done before. I've talked to a lot of DJs. I really don't want to be around DJs, to be honest with you, because they're into their own world.
Yeah.
And so I got there and spoke to him for a brief moment. And he just said, you know, so many people want to know about your songs, about your life, you know. And I said, well, you know, it's been a while since I've had hit records. So maybe it's okay if they don't remember me, right? And he said, well, why don't we just open up phone lines and have people tell us what they feel about you? And immediately I felt, oh my, what am I getting myself into?
Right.
And the first caller really, I don't want to take everyone's time, but the first caller happened to be a cab driver. born and raised in Jamaica, and was remembering as a 12-year-old his brother's funeral. And he said that I've reached for my boombox and climbed the highest junkyard I could find. And I just sat there on this massive mountain of junk. And I turned on my boombox and I heard something that made my whole body feel okay. And he said, that song was Sugar Sugar. And I want to thank you for allowing me to be happy for that brief moment. My God, I got emotional.
Oh yeah, I'm getting emotional thinking about that. And Bill Carroll is with us, so we're going to bring him in here.
Well, Bill, I
He's
didn't know you were here.
He's so modest. Let me tell you.
Okay, you tell us how it goes. You
Okay.
tell us how it goes.
When I started out in radio, I just wanted to play music for a living. That's what I wanted to do. And I was invited into the music meeting, or you decide about new songs that you're going to have to add to the radio station. And they played this great song by a guy named Baron Longfellow. And I said, who the hell is Baron Longfellow? But it was a brilliant song, very 80s sounding, kind of almost dancey, Miracle, right?
Yeah.
Song. And I couldn't believe it. And then the program director said, you know that this is also Andy Kim. I said, rock me gently, Andy Kim? How can one person with two names who's written these two great songs? He goes, he also wrote the songs for the Archies. He wrote Sugar Sugar. And from that moment on, I thought, I got to meet this Canadian amazing songwriting legend. Right. So when he had a new hit with the Bare Naked Ladies, Ed Robertson, and I found out he had a Toronto home and an LA home, and he was right down the street from the radio station. I went begging to our program director, you know that Andy Kim lives here. I want him on my show. I went out of my way to meet him, and I can't believe that all these years have passed, and he's involved in a tribute to me. You know, I've been to his induction in the Songwriters Hall of Fame, the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. I was with him when he got his Order of Canada. And to see him actually honor me, it feels so undeserving, because this guy is incredible.
We love this friendship so much, but we are running out of time, believe it or not, Bill. Can you tell us about your performance coming up with Dan Hill?
Dan Hill and Dan called me one day and said, you know, let's do a show together, and we just do it acoustically. I'd never done acoustic before, and we've been traveling and having a great time, and I'm so happy we're here doing it again.
So it's happening Friday, April 24th at 7 p.m. Meridian Theatre. You could head there for tickets and more
Dan Hill, who
information.
wrote Sometimes When We Touch and had a #1 hit with that song. These two
iconic.
guys tell stories about writing songs, and some of the origins are really surprising.
Amazing.
They have great chemistry. They're great friends. This is one of the best shows I've ever seen, and I'm so happy it's coming to Ottawa.
Well, we can't wait for it to come to Ottawa. Thank you both so much for joining us today. Bright
Can I get a
because
backstage pass?
We know it was a late night last night. I think we'll arrange that for you. We'll do it if he can, but I think he can.
You're invited to.
All right. Oh,
Thank
perfect.
you so much for
You're
inviting
welcome.
us.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.